1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard. Line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready?
55. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense. 49, check.
Purple 64. Cover 5-3. Cover 5-3.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Pickup of 3 brings up second and 7. At the 27-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Switch.
Yes.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check the hot read.
Foles. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, goal. Down goal.
Check. Kill. Hatch it.
Hey, Silver.
Now Foles. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Watson now to throw. He's got Fuller. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Back to throw, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's... And nothing but daylight ahead. 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. You got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're 1st place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Throwing on third down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on second down, Watson. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the game there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 14. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. From the red zone now, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skills showing the power, but just not much room to operate. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. A shotgun snap for Watson. Rolling. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short game. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6.
Easy.
Here we go, dude. Here I come again.
On second down, here's Fournette.
Check 26, check 26, check.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides.
No. Off. Check 3. Check.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
All right, D, let's go. All right, D.
Hey, solid one, solid one.
Watch the whip.
Under.
Now Leonard Fournette.
Watch the whip.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go. Silent.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Hey, 4 down. 4 down.
Easy.
24 is the mic.
Here we go.
24 is the mic. Watch the run.
One. What is this?
Here's Foles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And all the way down to the 26. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 41 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
25.
Curl.
Check 25.
Under. Go. Down to hit.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Calais Campbell on the stop. On 2nd down, Johnson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, alert 3.
Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Watson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go, baby.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Watson. Going deep here for Stills. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And it'll be a second down. Off of play action, it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He gets this one to Johnson. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
A.J. Boye up to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On third down, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
And he completes it to Westbrook. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
Hey, Delta.
Let him know, let him know.
Hey, check Mike, check Mike. Watch 55.
Watch the run, watch the run. I got him, back's mine. I got him,
Let's go!
He'll drop to throw. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Looking to throw again on second down. Foles. The open man is Westbrook. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now back to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This will be from 56 yards out. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go, boy, bring it.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Let's go, Pete.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
Let's go, D, let's go.
Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And the ball is knocked out. And the Jags grab it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Flat. 180.
You got nothing. Jim.
They come one.
Quick dance. Come. Watch twist.
138.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Here we go. 138.
Foles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
We ain't giving them nothing today.
Now Foles. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Zach Cunningham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack.
Go. Go with 5-3.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9. On 2nd and 1, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 82 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. Doug Peterson says, let's go for two here. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I talked with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check it back, check it back.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Great.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Motion! Mark 55! Yeah, let's go!
On 2nd and a couple. Foles. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Kill. Check three. Switch it. 13. Watch out. What we got?
They'll set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Breanne Body Calhoun. And this results in 6. Touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touch.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars get a score closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
25 yards that time. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings us
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Texans on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
take over first and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, high 7.
On the run, it's Fournette. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Under.
Wide, get wide.
Shoot.
Tight dog.
Hey, goal. Down goal. To go.
Now Fournette. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll drop the throw. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Cunningham, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on second and long. Foles. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off with great anticipation. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Watson. But he's got the completion to Hopkins. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. It's complete. Stills. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Check. Cross. 31.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Watson now to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Stills the intended target. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to... And he's into the clear. He's at the 30. And he cuts right. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Watson. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 26-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
And they have the opportunity. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will have a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Here I come. Here I come.
Hey, Keaton.
Check. 49.
13.
Check 31. Check 31.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Tackled at the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 25-yard line.
Again, it's Fournette. Shedding the tackle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Runs through the contact. Shrugs off another. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Houston, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.